Greetings to all our dear viewers and friends. Welcome back to our channel 10Min MindShift. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's program, I'm going to bring you something that can almost certainly bring happiness to our lives. Well, let's make it bold. This is about something that definitely brings happiness. The word definitely should fill the entire screen, a forest of definitely bringing happiness. Why do I say it's related to the word definitely? Because, dear viewers, it stems from a research study conducted in 2018. This study was quite groundbreaking because it provided a formula, a way to quantify how we can achieve states of happiness, peace, joy, and emotional fulfillment in our lives. Let me give you a sneak peek into what it's about. In 2018, Professor Jeffrey Hall from the University of Kansas published a study that was incredibly fascinating. I'll include the name of the study in the description below because revealing it now would spoil the fun. For now, I'll focus on what I want to highlight. This study contains some very interesting numbers. Specifically, it tells us how many hours it takes to turn an ordinary person into a close friend. The results show that those who spend about 50 hours interacting with someone else in a positive and intentional way will gradually move from being strangers to becoming casual friends. So you now know the formula for making casual friends. Intentionally interact with someone for 50 hours. 50 hours, got it. Of course, there's some more exciting stuff coming later in this video. Let me reveal a bit more about the study. I'll keep things a bit vague and mysterious for now, but I promise that by the end, you'll see the connection between this topic and how it can make your life happier. 50 hours are needed to turn a stranger into a casual friend. Continuing this journey, you'll need about 90 hours for that relationship to level up to a close friend. So remember 90 hours of positive interaction with someone to become close friends. That's not all. Wait, what did I title this video? I called it the 200 hours that define your life, and that's where the third point comes in. When you invest 200 hours in positive, deep, and meaningful interactions, where you bond, share back and forth, and open up personally with someone, both parties often enter the stage of being very close friends, or even soulmates. The fascinating thing about this study conducted and published in 2018 is that it took place in a very modern society. The researchers noted that these interactions don't necessarily have to be face-to-face. They can absolutely happen indirectly through social media, text messages, or phone calls. This means that if the quality of the interaction is good, you need 200 hours to build a soulmate-level friendship. So you now have half of the formula from this video. You know how to turn anyone in the world into a close friend. But the other half is just as important, and do you know what it is? If you make a close friend who is negative or has bad traits, what's the point of being friends with them? As people often say, choose your friends wisely. So the second half of this video, which is tied to happiness, is about what happens if you invest 200 hours in building a friendship with someone who is good and positive. Your life becomes fulfilling. Your life becomes happy. In any hardship or sadness in your life, you'll always have kind, loving people by your side. These relationships, this kindness, and this humanity around us are incredibly valuable. And what happens if you have 2, 3, 4, or 5 soulmate-level friends who are gentle, kind, and compassionate? Just having a few friends like that, I think, makes life absolutely amazing. There's nothing to complain about. Dear viewers, everything is crystal clear now. If you want happiness, if you want your life to be happy, invest your time in quality friends. So far, I haven't gone into any specific techniques yet. Just an introduction. But you already understand the path and the process. It's 200 hours divided into 3 milestones. The first milestone is 50 hours if you meet someone kind and want to befriend them. Spend 50 hours as casual friends. The second milestone adds 40 more hours, making it 90 hours to become close friends. Then add another 110 hours to reach 200 hours, and you'll become very close friends, almost soulmates. Just to clarify, 200 hours is the total, not 50 plus 90 plus 200 that would take forever. With care, nurturing, and attention, you can create a very close, almost soulmate-level relationship. And second, who do you invest this time in? People who are kind and positive. Now, let's talk a bit about friendship. We need a certain understanding of the types of friendships in life to stay clear-headed and follow our ancestors' advice. Choose your friends wisely. Here I'll refer to the philosophy of Aristotle from his work called Nicomachean Ethics. In this work, Aristotle categorized friendships into 3 types. The first is friendship based on utility. The second is friendship based on pleasure. The third is friendship based on virtue. The first 2 are probably easy to understand. Utility is about give and take. You give me something, and I give you something in return. Honestly, this is more like a collaboration than a friendship. So if you think this is friendship, be prepared. If you're lucky, this type of friendship might go smoothly, but if things go wrong, it can turn into a moment of, I didn't expect this. Many relationships based on utility make you think someone is your soulmate. But when the benefits dry up, you look to the sky, swallowing bitterness, saying, I didn't expect this. In reality, the mistake lies with us for misjudging the nature of the relationship. The second type friendship based on pleasure is exactly what it sounds like, raw and straightforward. Now let's talk about the third type friendship based on virtue. This is the type Aristotle highly valued because it's built on mutual respect and a desire for goodness in each other, aiming for the moral improvement of both parties. Dear viewers, through Aristotle's lens, time spent together isn't just about hours passing by. It's a process of both people cultivating virtue and striving for goodness. So I'm telling you, when you meet someone with a kind and virtuous nature, go make friends with them immediately. No hesitation. They're the perfect person to talk about kind things, do kind things together, and guide each other toward kindness. That's the happiness of life, my friends. Choose people with kind, compassionate, and virtuous traits first, because that's the foundation. If you're unlucky and end up befriending someone cruel, it's very dangerous. You have to choose carefully. Kindness must always be the first factor in selecting a soulmate-level friend. Next, look for people who are open, willing to change, eager to learn, and open to new ideas. These people are amazing because they easily recognize their mistakes and are willing to change for the better. I include this trait alongside kindness and compassion. Look around you and find people with these qualities. Make a plan to befriend them. Dedicate the first 50 hours to becoming casual friends with these people. If you see kind people in a certain environment, try to stay in that environment as long as possible. For example, in a classroom, if you see someone very kind, make an effort to attend every class regularly so they notice you. I call this the 0-hour stage, where you haven't spoken or interacted yet, but they know you're in the same environment. After you've become familiar, start planning how to approach them. The approach is simple. Use the Benjamin Franklin effect. This means asking them for something very small and simple, which they're unlikely to refuse. Especially since you've already identified them as kind, how could they say no? It's practically impossible. These plans are like battles you've already won. For example, in a classroom, you could say, "Oh no, I forgot my pen or pencil today. Could you lend me one?" Or, "I forgot my book, could I borrow yours?" This gives you an excuse to start interacting. After using the pen or book return, thank them and find something else to talk about. For instance, "This pen writes so well. Where did you buy it? Can you share the store's address?" That gives you another topic to discuss. Then step back a bit so you don't come on too strong. The next time you meet, greet them and thank them again, like, "Thanks for lending me the book the other day." Find any small topic to keep the conversation going. Plan daily what you'll say, because your goal is to become close friends with a kind and compassionate person. You have to pursue it like you would in a romantic relationship. That's how you truly aim for happiness in your life. Gradually approach and build the relationship. When two people are in the same environment, opportunities will arise. What are these opportunities? Moments when you do something together. For example, in a class, you might work on a group project together. Or even if you are in different groups, you can ask each other questions or exchange feedback. I think that's very simple. If you're in the same workplace, it's even easier. Pretend to walk by and notice them drinking something. You can stop and ask, "What's that drink? It looks so colorful, where can I get one?" Then in future encounters, start greeting them, talking more, finding excuses to interact, and asking for small favors to keep the conversation going. Eventually, you might progress to having lunch together, exchanging regular messages or calls about work, or discussing something in depth. Take it slow and steady, don't rush, because you've already committed to spending 200 hours building this close relationship. It's not something you can achieve overnight. Once you've reached a certain level of closeness, make a clear plan. What will I say today? What should I notice? What should I care about, share, or observe? It's actually quite easy. For example, during flu season, when everyone's coughing or sneezing, you could carry throat lozenges in your bag or backpack. That's a high-quality, thoughtful way to maintain and grow the relationship. This is how you create an amazing plan for your life. You're saying, "I want to befriend virtuous people. I want to follow Aristotle's advice. As I said earlier, I want to build a life with kind, compassionate, and virtuous close friends." When you have quality close friends, just 3 to 5, I believe your life will never feel lonely or miserable, Because the friends around you are like nutrients. When you're crying your heart out, they'll be there to listen and share with you. They won't criticize you, they'll shower your life and the lives of those around them with humanity. That's exactly what happiness is. Of course, there has to be give and take. You also have to work on yourself to become a kind and compassionate person first. Only then can your relationship with another kind person truly flourish. If you're toxic, they won't want to be close to you. Kind people are very perceptive. They usually won't criticize you or speak harshly. They'll just quietly distance themselves and avoid you. So alongside identifying good people around you, you must strive to become a good person yourself. That's when life becomes truly fulfilling and joyful. At the end, I want to add one more thing. I know many people might say, where I work, study, or live, I don't see anyone kind. Everyone seems to take advantage of others or focus on their own benefits. I understand that mindset. But you know what? You have the power to seek out better places. Places like charity events have a higher chance of meeting kind people. Places with a cultural or artistic vibe also have a higher likelihood of encountering kind individuals, because people who appreciate such things have special souls. Or try book clubs, reading groups, offline meetups, or cozy book cafes. Go there and participate. Even if you're extremely unlucky and only 1% of the people you meet are kind, meaning out of 100 people, only one is kind, that's still okay. It doesn't matter. As I've said in my life, I only need 3 to 5 very kind, close, soulmate level friends. That's enough. I don't need more because I wouldn't have the time to nurture more relationships properly. At my level, 3 to 5 is perfect, and I have no regrets. I think you can consider this number too. You don't need a large quantity. In conclusion, the benefits of kind friends are obvious. I've analyzed it thoroughly already. I hope you grasp the concept of the 200 hours that define your life. Friendship brings happiness that's undeniable, whether from personal experience or scientific evidence. The key is to change the mindset of if it's meant to be, it'll happen naturally. We need to abandon the idea that we don't need to nurture or cultivate friendships, that they'll just happen on their own. Let me be blunt, that's not how it works. Don't dream of it. It's like planting a tree, you have to water it and fertilize it. If you don't care for it, it might wither before it blooms or gets overtaken by weeds stealing its nutrients. I hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you all so much.